Hey guys, welcome back to the Woodshed. Today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about this thing that's on the end of my guitar. It's a double shot from a company called HIPSHOT. And the thing is, it helps me play in two different tunings just with one instrument. So there's these little micro tuners here, a rolling nut. I'm going to get into all the gear and also the one part that you will have to repair if you have this for long enough. So stay tuned. We're going to get right into it. So when this is open, you're going to put it into the lower tuning of your choice. Most people pick open D, so that would be D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. And I'm going to post another video that does that slowly. I'm going to get into D tuning, so don't worry about that. So I'm a little out of tune here, but when you have the HIPSHOT, the important thing is to tune the lower tuning with this open and tune it from this side, from your tuning pegs, just like normal. So I'm going to use that. My D is a little sharp here. D, D. I like to do all the D strings first. Get them in order. All right. Sometimes my low D doesn't pick up on my tuner, so I do a harmonic at the 12th fret, and it picks that up, so I tune to that. All right, so we're in tune, open, right? Using the tuning pegs as usual. Then we're gonna wanna set up our micro tuners on this side for open G. So when you push this down, it's not like a capo. It doesn't change every string the same amount. Capo, you just clamp it on, right? And it changes everything together. This one does each individual string however much you want. So their micro tuner is kind of like a violin. And what it does is it pushes the string down. It has like a little foot where it'll push the string down, and that raises the note. So it raises the tension because it's pushing it down, and that's how it raises the note. Just like if you have this note, that's my top D. On here you also, so I'm loosening the string, putting less tension, it's going low, right? And when I'm tuning that up, and it doesn't really want to listen to me right now, there it goes. I'm raising the tension on that side. So that's the same thing here. When I push this down, each one of these is pushing it down a different, I already said that, okay, jump ahead. So the bottom one is going to be a G. Mine's a little flat, so I'm going to turn this peg, and you got to be a little creative because they're tiny little pegs and you're wearing finger picks on this side, right? So sometimes I use kind of a key grip, the side of my finger, or I'll use these two fingers. Some people like to loosen it by opening the HIPSHOT lever and then turning it and then putting it back down. That can get a little tedious, but if you have time, you can do it on stage. Boom. All right, so that's back in tune. And then you have to do each string. Make sure you do it from this side, not that side, because if you mess up that side, when you go back to D, it's not going to be in tune anymore. So you got to think of this side as G and this side as D. Got it? So your regular open G tuning is going to be with this down. All right, what else I want to tell you? The tailpiece down here. Also, I know they come in black now, so if you're more into that instead of the chrome look, that's cool. On this side, you're going to need, as part of this whole kit, you're going to need this rolling nut. So the thing is, usually there's a bone nut, right, that the strings rest on. But when you're changing tunings this frequently, that can cause a lot of friction right here, and you might pop a string. So what you want to do is get one of these rolling nuts. They're actually brass, and that helps not change the tone at all or interfere. So it still keeps that tone really nice. Because there's so much metal, sometimes you'll get a little bit of a ring, like an overtone. So a lot of people will take just like a little piece of foam and stick it under the strings right down here, because you'll get some ringing on this side, you'll get ringing. It's just like it brings the instrument alive with all this metal. So you don't need to use special strings when you're using this double shot. You can use your regular old EJ42s or whatever you happen to use. You do need to get a deeper case if you use a hard case, that is, because this adds a little bulk down here. So you got to make sure that you can still fit in your case. That's something to think about. What else? Oh yeah, and also it comes usually with locking tuners, and I'm not sure how much that impacts the actual use of the double shot, but it sure is good for keeping it in tune, I gotta tell you. And it's a lot easier to change my strings. Now I'm spoiled when I change my other strings. It takes forever. But this, you just pull the string in, you lock it in, you don't have to do all of the wrapping and winding and all that stuff. It locks it, and then you just roll it right up to the note. So that's pretty cool. I know Paul Beard will put in a hip shot on an existing guitar, or he can put one in if you're getting a new one built. He'll put that in also. And I think he'd even upgrade the case for you as well. So you can check out Paul Beard Guitars for that. And I think also Double HIPSHOT will send you a kit with all this stuff if you want to put it in yourself. I know nothing about that, but what I do know is that I've had this for a number of years and I've used it a lot. So what happens is the rings down here against the instrument will start to wear out. They're made of rubber and it's a little tricky to replace them. So I'm going to make a whole video on how to replace them with like close-ups, because mine started, I had one that was about to pop off. So you want to be prepared before that happens. And it's kind of tricky. So check out that video. And if you are excited about different tunings, but you don't want to get this double shot yet, that's totally cool. I'm going to do another video on how to get from G tuning to D tuning and back again on just a regular instrument, just the old-fashioned way. So that is totally cool too. And once you get into D tuning, I have some songs that I'm going to teach you as well. Can't just like leave you hanging there. D-tuning is super fun for, especially when you're in tune. It's a little out. D-tuning is really fun for bluesy things. And it's also really nice for really sweet singer-songwriting. Because you have that low D, I love it. Ah, it's so fun. And then you go to G and you're... in G too. It's just really nice to have both languages. So cool. All right, check out some of the other videos to find out more songs in open D and open G, and let's just keep it simple and have fun. See you next time.